interpersonal interaction with a yogi. And today we have really a Kashaya man who is giving a lot of wonderful remedy relief for the current situation of COVID-19, what we are having. And we have with us Dr. Shivaraman Ji, who is a renowned Siddha practitioner and also a wonderful motivational speaker. He is a great scholar. Only if I keep telling Dr. Sir's credentials, the whole 1 hour will take the whole show. So, of course, in the field of Siddha and especially the right eating, regarding food and lot of things, awareness of nature and all those things, Dr. Shivaraman is a very known face and very known personality, I would say. Not only people from Tamil Nadu, but all over the world, people who are very health conscious, who are nature lovers, and who are taking the right lifestyle. So they are definitely following Dr. Shivaraman sir. And other than being a medical practitioner, a doctor, his passion is more on literature, and he's a wonderful motivational speaker. And there would not be any festival in Tamil Nadu without him having a speech there on the televisions. And even we have a very famous debate show which is called Patti Mandram. Any of our festival, it could be Deepavali or Pongal or anything, it will not go. In those days, we used to have mass programs where Kuntakudi Adigalar and very great people used to come and speak. And now it has all become the TV show where it's a very wonderful program. And in that kind of a program, Dr. Shivaraman Ji is also very active participant in that. So, and what is today relevant for him more is he is a member of the Corona Task Force, which is commissioned by the government of Tamil Nadu. And I'm very keen that even the government of India as such should take the intervention of Siddha in the COVID-19 mechanism, whatever is being followed in terms of Ayush. So I'm very happy that today, Dr. Shivaraman Ji, in spite of his very busy schedule, he took his time out of the love he had towards me, and he is here. Thank you so much, sir, for joining with us. Welcome. Namaste. Vanakkam.
Namaste. Vanakkam, sir.
It's a pleasure after a long time. In fact, we are meeting each other after a long time.
Really, it's giving me the remembrance of your center, Swami Vivekananda Yoga, which we see whenever I come, you meet you and Professor Nagaratna ji, Dr. Nagendra ji. So really, it's a great time when we start the Stop Diabetes movement in my hospital also. And really, you are doing a wonderful service to the country and our system also. And the way I appreciate is actually the yogi cult, which is the path for jnana, and you take it into the therapeutic benefits, to take it to the physicians and the common man. How best we can use it for the common man to build his resistance against the disease, actually to combat the many non-communicable diseases, as well as you open a beautiful opening to the Western world. This is more compatible with the modern science also. So that's why I really admire your team. And wherever now the government of India is showing much interest on yoga and Ayush, and wherever possible, the medical pluralism they are talking. So, and the word medical pluralism, without yoga, you can't do anything. So in that, the word from your center, the move from your center, the philosophy from your center is now become more and more meaningful. And I feel proud to be with you to take this real Kashayam. And the word you told, the Kashayam man, I feel proud of that. That's the biggest award I really get. Thanks a lot for inviting me, Yogi.
Thank you, doctor. Again, I'm very privileged to be with you and talk with you all these wonderful discussions. And as you know, in this informal talk show which we are having with a lot of experts, we are having people from almost, when we say Ayush, today we have the Ministry of Ayush and the Department of Ayush under every state government also. So it is the Ayurveda, yoga and naturopathy, and of course Siddha and homeopathy, all put together, the systems which are there with us. So in which Siddha, some very important, which is actually, I don't think yoga and Siddha to be very different from their roots. It is the same. We have Maharishi Agastya and Patanjali and all the 18 Siddhas of Tamil tradition, whom we say they are definitely the yogis. And a yogi, when he accomplishes the highest, state, that's where he attains Siddhi. They say in even Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the Yoga Sutra itself, the process of Siddhi is explained. And the one who has attained that Siddhi is called a Siddha. So the medical system, the tradition, which is profounded by such accomplished yogis, the Siddhas is what I think is the Siddha tradition. And so the yoga and Siddha, in a way, they are not different from each other. They have the same origin of the great Maharishis of our country. In that way, you see, even Ayurveda, all these are kind of interconnected systems, but retaining their own, uniqueness in their own thing. There are some commonalities what we see, and there are wonderful uniqueness which are very identical to the particular system and tradition. So in the beginning, as I said, because the show itself is called as Kashaya and a personal interaction with the yogi. Recently, when this Corona COVID-19 started, especially from Tamil Nadu, from the Siddha tradition, from the practitioners, the medical professionals, the suggestions of Kabasura Kudineer, which is kind of herbal drink which has been propounded, and then a lot of demand. In fact, in many places, it was even publicly distributed for the immunity build-up also. And we see always in television whenever any news going on about this Kabasura Kudineer, and therefore this show is watched by people, in fact, all over the country and even from abroad. So from the yoga community. So I would like to hear from you to start with, what is this Kabasura Kudineer? And how is it benefit for this particular season? Is it only for corona prevention, or is it all-time remedy, doctor?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to tell about the preamble of the history of Kabasura Kudineer. How it starts. Actually, when India first faces the corona around the end of Jan and February, second or third week, at the time, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India look into that virus, whether Ayush can support this virus transmission. Can we able to improve the immune system, or can we able to intervene the immune system as a prophylaxis? Can we able to give some kashayam or some intervention from Ayush? So one way they are all looking about the public health perspective, how to control wearing mask and the social distances, all these things, one part. Another part, can we able to improve the immune system? This is another part where they look into the doors of Ayush. They knock the doors of Ayush. At the time, Prime Minister had interacted with stakeholders of Ayush. So I was also invited, and my professor, Professor Jayaprakash Narayan, lead our team. And among throughout India, Professor Nagendra ji also led the team. So 12-13 people were there in the meeting. At the time, we proposed, the Siddha community proposed through Professor Jayaprakash Narayan, why don't we use the Kabasura Kudineer? How we had selected in our system, in Siddha system, there is one text called YOGi Vaidya Sindhamani. In that YOGi is a sage. Among the 18 Siddhas, YOGi is one of the sage. That saint had given the pathophysiology of many diseases in Siddha system. So he had coined a word called Kabasuram. In that Kabasuram, he explained the Kabasuram with some clinical features of sore throat and dryness of the mouth and malaise and wheezing and distaste also one of the sign in the Kabasuram. So when we compare and correlate with the COVID-19 disease, the COVID-19 is also having wheezing, sore throat and distaste and malaise and respiratory difficulty. And when you look at the Kabasuram of YOGi Vaidya Sindhamani, that YOGi saint clearly told, if you cannot able to treat the disease within a period of time, particularly 5 to 7 days, this will again turn into a abanyasa sanni. If it is turned into a abanyasa journey, then you cannot be able to treat easily. Sometime the person may die. This is the explanation given by the YOGi Vaidya Sindhamani. When we are all inquisitive about the how we can manage the corona, we take this verse and take the YOGi Vaidya Sindhamani's explanation, compare with the COVID. Then we thought, why don't we use the treatment protocol. Why don't we treat the management protocol of the Kabasuram for COVID-19 disease? Because both the signs and symptoms are more or less 70 to 80% compatibility were there. So we can select the Kabasura interventions of Kabasuram, and we can go with do the research and all other things. Then we look into that. How they had treated the Kabasuram on those days. The first choice of drug was Kabasura Kudineer. That Kabasura Kudineer was present in the old Siddha literature, Agathir Vaidya Siddha, Agathir Vaidya Ratnam, and later Siddha literature called Siddha Vaidya Thirattu. In Siddha Vaidya Thirattu, they little modified from the Agathya Vaidya Ratnam. In the Siddha Vaidya Thirattu, they had given with the 15 herbs as ingredients of Kabasura Kudineer. When we closely look into the Kabasura Kudineer, that is a decoction made with 15 different herbs. And when we closely look the 15 ingredient with the Western analytical eyes, each and every ingredient, each and every spices have some therapeutic benefit which may help in the COVID-19 management. Some herbs are anti-inflammatory, some herbs are mucolytic, some herbs are virostatic, some herbs are immunomodulator, some herbs are potential disease-modifying activity. So we thought this is the apt drug, can be used in the first-line management and prophylaxis. We don't know the understanding of the SARS-CoV-2 virus on those days. But the clinical representation of the Kabasuram is more or less, I won't say more or less, around 70% equal to the Corona COVID-19 virus. So using the Kabasura Kudineer may help for the person to improve the innate immune system, or to improve or prepare the adaptive immune system to fight against the virus. This is our mere hypothesis, and based on the Western inferences as well as Indian Ayush Siddha manuscripts advice. So based on that, we had selected the Kabasura Kudineer and recommended to the government of Ministry of Ayush and Prime Minister Modi ji also. So the same thing, the same formula, when Tamil Nadu government asked, what is, fortunately, government of Tamil Nadu nominated me as a task force committee member. There was a special task force COVID-19 members, there were a high power committee member. In that, I fortunately, myself and Professor S.P. Tyagarajan, he is a very renowned scientist from Ramachandra Medical College, and he is a retired Vice Chancellor of Madras University and world-renowned microbiologist. And he is actually a fascinating researcher in Indian herbs. So we both were represented to the government of Tamil Nadu Chief Secretary and Health Secretary and Chief Minister. Why don't we use the Kabasura Kudineer as a prophylaxis arm for all Tamil Nadu people? Then various debate happened. They asked, the Health Secretary asked several questions. Higher officials asked. They have some fear. You are telling about these herbs which are very old. This COVID is a new one. How you could be able to manage the new virus with your old? The always new lock have a old key will always open the new lock. But we had to explain in a scientific way. So we explained the therapeutic benefits and the hypothesis behind with the Western analysis. So finally they accepted. And currently what is happening, nearly 80 tons, 80,000 kg of Kabasura Kudineer powder has been distributed throughout the Tamil Nadu. There are a lot of initial research inferences, give optimistic inferences. One Ayush throughout India, Ministry of Ayush had done one study. They had done 15,000 people. They follow closely those who are in the containment zone and most vulnerable group area. Among the 15,000 people, only 23% become positive. So it is merely below 0.1%. This is one study report. And again, there are several studies, one from Tirupattur, another from Erode, another from Melapalayam, Tirunelveli, wherever we had given our Siddha physicians documented these people are getting positive, or these are people are getting better with the clinical signs. And now the asymptomatic positive people, mild positive people, all are now they treated with the Kabasura Kudineer. The earlier first stage of inferences are optimistic. I want to claim, or I won't tell with the tall claim that Kabasura Kudineer will cure COVID or will kill coronavirus. We don't know. That is a tall claim. It may be a Himalayan task. But the first-hand information, the first-hand inferences really pave our way towards that goal. That's why I would like to say, as you rightly said in your initial statement also, first, you should integrate. Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, Yoga, all are different teachers of one school. All are driving us towards internal health and external health. All the Ayurveda Guruji or Yoga Guruji or Siddha Sage or Unani Guruji, the objective is actually same. The pathway is different. So my feeling, you should integrate. All the people you should use yoga. All the people should use every other things. Then we have to, whenever possible, we have to integrate with modern medicine also. Wherever the need is there, wherever the primary health requirement, wherever the non-communicable disease management, if you want to complement or if you want to supplement or if you want to be a mainstream medication, all possible we have to integrate. And Kabasura Kashayam actually opens the door of integrative medicine in Tamil Nadu and India. And really we felt glad. Today evening we got the information there are 5 medical colleges. Now they are using Kabasura Kudineer as a research portal, and most of the Tamil Nadu allopathic medical doctors also now using Kabasura Kudineer. Really, Corona opened this way also. I feel proud of that.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for elaborating the whole background and mechanism, how it works, and what are even the research trials which have been made and how it has been helping. It is really encouraging to hear that. And then, yes, as you rightly said, these are age-old traditional things, but even relevant for today. When we say, we use the word Puranam, for our traditional textbooks, we say Purana, but we say Purana means old. No, the meaning of Purana is Pura Abhinavam. They are old, but even today relevant. Pura Abhinavam. Even today they are relevant. So it's not only the stories, but even all things. Each and every science that we have, are very relevant. And today, the world is realizing, whether Indians are even today, not realizing or not. I think even the other countries, they are realizing today, from Shekan to Namaste, we are moving, and from, distancing, social distancing, and following the cleanliness. And as you rightly said, all these mechanisms, all these traditional systems are aiming towards cleanliness, external and internal, both. So they are slowly understanding this, and, I think it's happening. And how do you see the acceptance of Siddha, especially at this current situation, the Kabasura Kudineer, which is mainly the focus now, in other states and other systems of medicine? Yes, in Tamil Nadu, definitely, as you said, integration has happened. It is a gateway for the integration happening. Allopathy doctors and medical colleges are accepting. Is there any way think that even the other states, which are at least the neighboring states, are they accepting it, or how is it getting spread?
Yeah, in Telangana, in Tirupati also one study is going on, and Tirupati, Telangana governor is asking the Kabasura Kudineer how to utilize for the people, as well as Kerala also. Now they are incorporated in their Ayush management. They are incorporated Kabasura Kudineer. I found in Delhi also, New Delhi also, they are working how best we can use the Kabasura Kudineer. And even recent a week before, from the ministry, from the Ayush ministry, as well as from the Delhi Prime Minister office, they are asking some information about the Kabasura Kudineer, how best we can utilize to the other states also. There are some dialogues is happening. I am actually seeing from many part of the world, many Americans now they are using Kabasura Kudineer. UAE, they are using Kabasura Kudineer. There are a lot of
are we able to manufacture? Are we able to manufacture to the demand which is there? And I'm sure the demand is going to grow.
No, actually, we are not as ready as the global need, but the things are going on. One fortunate things, the ingredients are all possible for cultivation and all possible for wild collection also. If the demand grow, definitely it's a challenge. We need to address that also. But whenever all these challenges, whenever come, the demand will first knock the door. Then only the supply will get ready all the time. Okay. So here the Kabasura Kudineer also the same thing happening. That is the real challenge for the manufacturers, as well as Government of India and Tamil Nadu should look into that very seriously. Then only when global need arises, they can supply.
But when you say the ingredients, is it only locally which are relevant, which in Tamil Nadu alone they are available or grown, or even at other places are the ingredients available so that it can be manufactured elsewhere also?
Yeah, the Kabasura Kudineer ingredient is almost all part of the India. It is available. Even certain ingredient, for example, akraharam is one of the ingredients. The akrahar is mostly available only in the northern India. Another thing, the Koshta. Koshta is it's a wonderful drug in Ayurveda. It is available only in the Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat, and we are getting from there only. I could say on those days there is no borders. Even in Siddha, there is no borders. They got a lot of herbs from the northern India, and Ayurveda got a lot of herbs from the southern part of the India. So we don't have any barriers of language or borders, anything. So definitely, this can be cultivated throughout India. This can be produced as well as distributed to all part of the people of our country, because our country's basic strength, that is only. So unity in diversity, we can definitely do that.
Nice, doctor. Also, in this season of COVID-19, we have been hearing about the Kabasura Kudineer more. But previously, it was kind of Nilavembu Kashayam, which was very prevalent. Even when we had the kind of flood and all those things time, it was Nilavembu Kashayam which was there. So are they kind of the same, or are they different, or how are they relevant, doctor?
Yeah, Nilavembu is a different one, but it's one of the beautiful, wonderful Kashayam. Almost dengue and swine flu we treated with Nilavembu Kudineer only. And chikungunya also, it has act very well. More or less like a Vada fever, Vada Suram. Nilavembu is the first choice. Because it is a Kabasuram, we took the Kabasura Kudineer the first choice. But both are a good immunomodulator. Both are good immune enhancing herbs. Apart from Vada Suram, Kabasuram, if you closely look into the immunity part of that, both are having a good immunomodulating and immune enhancing therapeutic. Nilavembu Kudineer also we had studied, even in Corona, COVID, we had studied in one study at Tirunelveli among 261 population, I think. They had given Nilavembu Kudineer, and none even them become positive in the containment zone. So Nilavembu also one of the beautiful one. And the major ingredient Nilavembu also present in Kabasura Kudineer also. Kabasura Kudineer, one of the ingredient is actually Andrographis paniculata. And Nilavembu is mostly reduces the pain, improve the thrombocytes according to the modern science. Kabasura Kudineer actually reduces the mucus from the body, as well as improve the immune system and manage the cytokines and all. So both are having, with the modern perspective, there are minute, some differences are there. And traditional medicine approach, this is mostly for a Vada Jura, Nilavembu Kudineer. That's why it is good for the chikungunya pain, arthritic pain, all the pain. It will reduce the pain very well. As well as Nilavembu Kudineer is potentially improve the thrombocytes. So that in the dengue, we have a severe thrombocytopenia. That is actually killing the people. So at the time, that was the first choice. And Kabasura Kudineer doesn't have a potential value on improve the thrombocyte, though it is having Adadoda in one of the ingredients. There are some differences are there.
Very nice, doctor. Thank you so much for this clarification. And because in the beginning of this Corona season when it started, many were, have the opinion that if we take the Nilavembu Kashayam, for example, because in our family, for example, we were already used for taking the Nilavembu Kashayam, immediately we thought this will prevent us, and we thought. Then all of a sudden, the Kabasura Kudineer came into picture. Then, so I was just wanting to have this clarity, as you are the right person. And when I was hearing you, when in all these things, what you were highlighting about the Kabasura Kudineer, I'm thinking it is Kapha. When we say the three, one of the doshas, what we say, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And Sura, I think in Tamil locally we are saying, but Jvara, what we call in Sanskrit, the fever, this thing. And then also when you are telling about Nilavembu, you said it is for Vata. So I think the principles, basic principles of Siddha also, does it have the same, the Vata, Pitta, Kapha way of diagnostics, or do you have any other unique way of diagnostics there? Like in Ayurveda, when we hear mainly the Tridosha is a thing with
mostly predominantly I can say the eightfold assessment we say always. Nadi, Sparisam, Na, Niram, Muli, Vili, Malam, Mutra. These 8. The same eightfold only Ayurveda also, they are also looking into that. But the Nadi Pariksha is actually more prevalent in Tamil Siddha way of understanding. We have the strength in the Nadi, the nuances of the Nadi changes. That is the pulse changes. How to assess the pulse? We say, see with the 3 fingers to assess the Vata, Pitta, Kapha. We say in Tamil, Vali, Alal, Ayyam. I could say both are from the same mother. Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, all come from the same mother. With the experiences of the local geographical areas and local teachers, and if Ayurveda is from Siddha or Ayurveda, all from the, I can say it is from the Indian tree. It's an understanding about the Prabhanjam, nature, how the rishis and how the sadhus and how our ancestors look, the connectivity between the Prabhanjam and our human body. We have in Tamil, we say, Andathil ullade pindam, Pindathil ullade andam, andamum pindamum ondre, arindudan parkumbode. The same thing, Ayurveda also. And same thing, yogic philosophy also. What is present in the macrocosm is present in your microcosm. So we can't able to separate the both. Physically, we may be separated, but there are a lot of synergetical composition is there. Same fundamental thing. And another thing, the Panchabhuta Panjigaranam, we say, how the 5 elements of the Prabhanjam, the earth, the fire, water, space, and all the 5, how it you conjugate each other and form the 6 taste. The earth and the salt conjugate one, earth and water conjugate the sweet, and water and the fire forming the salt. So the 5 elements conjugate each another and forming 6 tastes, and the 6 taste is the fundamental of all our things. If the 6 taste only forming the 3 humus of the body, the Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and Vali, Alalayam. In Tamil we say Vali, Alalayam. If you say Tirukural, in the Tirukural there is one verse called Miginum, Kurayinum, Noiseyum, Nulor, Vali Mudalaya Mundru. It is written in the 3rd century. What it means? Nulor, they are the doctors. On those days, Gurujis, or on those days, somebody, authors. Nulor, Vali Mudalaya Mundru. Vali Mudalaya Mundru means Vali Alalayam, Vada, Pitta, Kapha. Miginum, Kurayinum, Noiseyum. If it is increases, disease. If it is decreases, that is also disease. So, imbalances of the 3 dosha is actually the physical illness, mental illness, everything. So, to balancing or to make it synergetical or to make it balanced, we have to use the 6 taste only. So, this is the fundamentals of Ayurveda and as well as our Siddha. There is no, the language is different and there are a lot of experiential differences are there. There are some experience. For example, Vrechanatal Vadam Talum Siddha Nanga solradhu. We say if you give purgation, your Vada will reduce. But in Ayurveda, they say Vrechanatal Pittam Talum. And Vasti will reduce the Vada. According to Ayurveda, they say if you give Vasti, they will give Vada reduce. So some minor differences based on the teacher's experiences. I don't see much differences, or I don't see a bigger complete indifferences between all Indian systems. There are a lot of and sharing of knowledges on those days. One knowledge is shared with the Chinese people, and knowledge is shared with the Himalayan people, and Himalayan people share the our South Indian, the India, everywhere. The knowledge, if the knowledge is actually from the heaven. So we have to share whatever I am speaking is my teacher had given or my books had given. It's not owned by me. Then I have to share with the people. Then only that is the logic. That is the real ethics. So that ethics on those days, they had followed very beautiful things. So definitely that's why I strongly say experiences difference, but the fundamentals are same.
The beautiful insight, as you rightly said, we have the integration as the future also. So we should compare and take it in the right sense and right way. And while you are telling, it was very nice to hear that, when you say there's nothing new that we took, it is from our teachers, the Nular, as Tirukural, it also says, from the beginning, what a lineage has been passed on, and there have been documented things which are there. Of course, we can create more scientific evidence to that and do that. But often what is happening in current scenario, you see, suddenly somebody from somewhere comes and says, I discovered this. Recently also this Corona, when it started, people started claiming, especially in Tamil Nadu also this scenario happened, somebody claiming that I discovered a medicine for it, I invented, do something for this and all those things. So there are, one side we have proper professionally educated medical practitioners like you all who are there and who are trying to pioneer into the scientific research in compliance with the modern medical systems, or in comparative study with other Ayush systems like Ayurveda or yoga and all those things, in a way, in a professional way, in a proper way we are taking it. Suddenly from somewhere such people come. So how do you handle the situation, doctor?
Actually, in traditional systems of medicine, which is more of a people-oriented system, it is not a completely system-oriented or a completely designed system. It is actually it emerges from the people, emerges from the experiences of various people who really loves the mankind. I feel every systems of medicine is unique because one system established only because of the love and affection towards the mankind. Then only when you see a person, he is suffering, I could able to give something. So this only the first step of every system. So because it is people oriented, it is little difficult to completely make it into a or design the system. This is actual difficulty. And unfortunately, what has happened, actually one phrase will be there, every disaster some people see as an opportunity. So whenever some disaster come, they think it as a market. So how we can make money, or we can preach our science, or we can preach our things to make us, I know everything, like that. Some kind of false propaganda they want to. It shows only the tall climb starts from the small mind. That's all. And they don't have the much understanding about the disease or much understanding about the system. They immediately want to address themselves. We know everything. We know everything. That is actually a pretty part of the problem. So here, I feel there should be two responsibilities. One responsibility from the government, and one responsibility from the people who are ruling the country and ruling the state and ruling the department. They should clearly watch, because that is the actually duty of the rulers. They should not allow such quackeries and mocking people. We should not allow them. That is one important point. Second thing, our responsibility, the practitioners and the people should understand. We all have some kind of conspiracy mind after the Western influences of media. So whatever comes in the WhatsApp or whatever comes in the TV media, we think it is the real answer. One important thing, whatever we see in the internet or see in the phone is information. It is not knowledge. Information is different and knowledge is different. We think that with the information, we are knowledge, we are equipped with the ideas, and we move towards that. That's the problem. People are thinking that if we get one information, then immediately they started following that. And unfortunately, after this open...
sometimes what happens, sometimes what is happening, the right knowledge comes, but they are suspicious. They are having suspicious towards that.
Yeah, that is also the conspiracy mind. That they are not believing the people, their own people. They are all questioning. That is the unfortunate happening of the modern education system also. Modern education system asks you to question everything. They want to understand everything. But our own traditional system, sometimes they don't want to ask you questions, because understanding needs a lot of transformation in your mind. So without understanding, without transforming your mind and your body, you can't question. So that is the fundamental thing. So these people are thinking that questioning is biggest art they are thinking. That's why the conspiracy mind comes, and they are not understanding the values, the real knowledge. They are not understanding and started questioning. And another important thing, the current contemporary lifestyle is completely fragile based on the immediate things. They are not go into the depth of any philosophy, go into the depth of any science or anything. If it is happen immediately, they are accepting, clap and putting memes, and they go away. And next day they are thinking about other things. This is all the problem. So when you ask the first question, the quackeries and that mockery kind of people, government should really look into very seriously, because they should not spoil the purity of the science and the holism of the science. That is one important thing. Another thing, they have to closely standardize also. That is also one important thing. There are lack of standardization and lack of because of the 2000, 4000 years travel, there are some mistakes and there are some misconceptions, misinterpretation maybe happened in the system also. Because of the tradition, because it is from the larger travel, we should not accept as it is. We can just have an analytical eyes. With the available knowledge, we can understand whether it is 100% truth, 100% viable for that. That is not a wrong thing. Let them do, but should not completely broken or completely throw away the oldest thing. That is also should not be happen. So it's a very tricky thing we have to follow.
Very, very nice, doctor. That's what, because we see all these things happening. So always, I had a curiosity to know. At the same time, we still do we still have the traditional practitioners? One side, we have professionally educated Siddha practitioners or medical practitioners. They have a proper authentic registration, license, and everything, and they undergo the proper training. There's post-graduation research. There's a council for Siddha, and there is National Institute of Siddha. So that is a proper professionalization of a thing which is very required today in all field of traditional medicine, Ayurveda, in yoga, naturopathy, Siddha, everywhere what has happened. So it is there. But same time, we see that it is all originated from the original Maharishi Siddhas who are there. So suddenly we hear somewhere that there is this Siddhar who is there in this particular hill, this particular cave, there is a Siddhar who is there. So how do you look at, are even today is a tradition of the ancient Siddhas alive even today? And do they really live the same kind of Siddha tradition of original Siddhas like Agastya and other rishis? And how today's professional medical world of Siddha or going with them? Are they is the traditional and the modern thing against each other, or they go hand in hand with each other, or how do you look at that?
Definitely we should recognize, understand, follow the traditional experience. No question about second question about that. Institutionally qualified people, we are all having a structured text, and we slowly get the experiences from various Gurujis, authors, and books and experiment experiences. That is different. And people who are in the traditional way, sometimes from the spiritual path, sometimes from the religious path, they understand things, and they have some collective knowledge, and they have some insights which shows certain herbs and show certain formulation may helpful for certain diseases. We should observe closely. We have to understand if it is having some real meaning and truthful, and the people who preaches or the people who are telling this is having a good potential with their spiritual knowledge, with their insight, if they are coming, we should not neglect. We should go. We have to give the respect and regards and get the information and recognize them properly. We should not get that and throw it them. That also we should not do. Recognize that. Definitely we have to recognize. Still, there are people in my college days, when I come out of the college, in my age of 25, 23, 24, I thought everything should be scientifically studied, everything should be structurally there. All these are all nonsense. Those kind only in my mind, it was there at that in my youth period. That was my thought process. But when the years goes, when I met people, when I learned certain things, then my mind is also, see, what I'm seeing in the science is not very big thing. The spiritually people are having certain things, very good things they are having. The experience is always better than the experiments. And empirical, now these are all the understanding my age and my experiences, and my teachers had given those with the grace of God and others. So I feel traditional knowledge, even traditional Siddhas are there here and there, they are climbing. But unfortunately, the quackery is amalgamated with that. So we have to remove the quack, and we have to really understand who is propagating with the traditional understanding, with the traditional experiences. If the traditional experiences are there, even without a degree or without proper education or without anything, government should closely look into that, give the due respect to the people. Sometimes I feel some engineers, very qualified, high qualified engineers with a lot of physics and chemistry knowledge, they are closely working in the Siddha science. I respect them. I respect them because with their knowledge domain is different. With the domain, they are looking the Siddha spiritual science. We have to understand, well, you are an engineer, you should not do all these things. This is a nonsense. So wherever the science emerges, wherever the experiences comes, we have to respect, closely look, study well, and very importantly, never be, it should be a quackery, and never, it should not, Tamil ஒரு வார்த்தை சொல்லுவோம், அறம். அந்த அறம்ங்கிற வார்த்தையை தாண்டி போகக்கூடாது. We have to, அந்த அறம் சார்ந்து இருந்தோம்னா, we can respect those people. That's it.
Aram, as you say, by usually, in Sanskritam, we equate to dharmam, which is righteousness.
Dharma, dharma, yeah.
Righteousness.
The ethics, so, in English, ethics we say, the ethics and dharma we should have. That if it is there, and whoever maybe we have to respect.
Very true, very nice, sir. As you said, even in the field of yoga, today the professional education is all coming, but earlier we had the traditional yogic system, what was there. And exceptionally, like people, for example, our own Guruji, Dr. H.R. Nagendraji is a scientist. He is not, he was a ME, PhD, mechanical engineering from the Indian Institute of Science. He was a NASA scientist who got interested into yoga and who came here. And, now his medical knowledge is more than many of the doctors to these many years of experience that he has got. And, like exceptionally, as you rightly said, some technical people getting interest in Siddha. Likewise, even I am a person who was in the engineering field, who got interest in yoga, then acquired my, both the experiential traditional wisdom through the parampara and also the experimental, research-oriented thing from the, scientific community. I think if you properly take it, as you rightly said, with the ethical values, which is more important in taking this ahead, I think that is should be welcomed. I really appreciate that when you bring, and I'm sure we are quickly running short of time, but still the curiosity, now only the interest more, and asking you things and learning from you is growing. One of the thing what we see today from Siddha, which is fascinating, many people even from the yoga field, I see one common thing which is in terms of practice. Is there is Varma therapy, which is very much catching, and is it from Siddha? Because also people in Ayurveda, they call something as marmam. They say this marma sikitsa and varmam are kind of again one and the same, but called by differently. So
yeah, actually, again the claims and all, forget about that. I am the owner and you are the owner. This is all with the small mind they are all telling. Actually, all emerges from the Indian knowledge. That's why. And Varma is the southern part of the Tamil Nadu. There is a place called Kumarikanda in the Kanyakumari, Nagarkoil. This is the actually hotspot, I can say. The word hotspot is nowadays after Corona, it become very popular. I can use the word hotspot. Actually, the hotspot of Varma is Nanjil Nagaram, that is Kumarikotam. And that area, there was a large experiences about the Varma. They only found the connectivity of the each and every important Varma points and the therapeutic implications, all these things on those days. There are several literatures, Varma Birangi, Varma Kannadi, Varma Sutram, all has written on that area only. From that, it was spreading to throughout the country, and Ayurveda took it as a Marma Siksha. So we cannot say that I am the owner and you are taking all these things. Not like that. See, again, the sharing of knowledge and the getting the knowledge is again enriched with our own experiences.
Exactly.
So with that, with their experiences, they may enrich something. Because of taking that, they should not claim I am the owner, I am the owner. This is actually the small people mind. So forget about all these things. Varma is emerged from anthropologically, culturally, or historically, we say it is from the tip of our country. So from there, because the literature a lot of literature were written in that area, in Tamil, as well as on that area's terminologies were used in the verses. The vernacular languages of each and every part and the plant used in the Varma literatures are from that area. So that we thought that anthropologically it should start from that places. And there are some many similarities in the that understanding about the what is called Kalari of Kerala and acupressure points of China. How it has gone? Check how Chinese points and Kerala points and that Varma points are more or less similar. That is because of the exchange of knowledge. Nobody can stolen one thing and train the other way. They may maybe a traveler from China maybe came here, or Indian traveler may go there.
Also, they say Bodhidharma who went from Tamil Nadu to China, who took it there.
Bodhidharma is historically in the 11th century or 9th century. They are from the Kanchipuram. He has traveled. That is historically it's a known one. We know the Pallava dynasty and the travel all has been recorded. So some knowledge may be spread from there. Maybe from the Chinese teacher, they may evaluate it with their own experiences. That also possible. Kung Fu, Karate, all these things. We should not say all are from me, all are my, I am the owner. This is a very small mind thing. So what is the interesting phenomena is Varma is one of the, as a each and every point, when Western science, when you look into the Western analytical science, each and every point is having a anatomically very, very important point, as well as physiologically also it influences. Anatomically important point, physiologically each and every point influences when give some pressure or application or thing. So nowadays people are all thinking, doing research. Can we able to control the metabolic diseases, non-communicable diseases also through the this Varma application? How acupressure is nowadays used for other metabolic diseases also. Acupuncture is used for metabolic diseases also. Same way, Varma also now they are using. Definitely, Varma is a pride of Tamil Nadu, I can say, or pride of Siddha. And there are a lot of research should happen because it is a non-invasive therapeutic. In the whole world, how the world is taking the yoga as an important phenomena, Varma also the same potency is there. If Varma is properly studied, Varma is properly employed, and definitely it has a bright future like yoga. Definitely it can go throughout the world. This is because it is non-invasive. There are some therapeutic medications also there. That is the second one. Primarily with the external therapy manipulation itself, we can give a good therapeutic intervention.
So, I see a lot of interest even among the current yoga practitioners, interest in Varma, and many are taking and they are trying to practice it in an integrative way. So, do you see that, agree that even people who don't have the complete professional education of Siddha, but studying the Varma alone, and then they can practice in maybe like yoga, how is thought and all those things?
See, therapeutic practice, if it is come for a therapeutic practice, understanding of the human body, human physiology, either in a three dosha way or in the guidance physiology, whatever way, that medical knowledge is essential. So when you go for a practice, automatically the complete understanding of the human body is very essential. So in yoga is different. Yoga is though it is a lot of connectivity with the human physiology, it is not only confined with the human physiology. It beyond a lot of things are there. But in Varma, if you want to give a pressure or give a manipulation, give a thing, they should understand the anatomy, physiology, functionality, therapeutic, pathogenesis, everything they should understand. So it is not easily they could understand the points and giving pressure because, for example, how I say, if a person may come with a pain in the chest wall, so he may fall from above side or some kind of expression, he may give some cough or he may tell that some piercing pain and all. In a Varma point, they may understand that to give such pressure, we can release the pain. Or if you give some kind of massage with the medicated oil, give some fume, the pain may rise. But we have to understand the pain, whether the pain is because of the injury, or if it is the pain is because of the pleural effusion of the lung, or if the pain is because of the lower level liver problem, or if any microthrombus is there, and slowly one by one question beyond that. So in this current contemporary days, you cannot superficially treat one thing and claim one that thing. So my understanding, it can be a super specialty. Like after the graduation in Ayurveda, or after the graduation of naturopathy yoga, or after the graduation of Siddha or allopathy, if they learn Varma also, that will be wonderful. That will be phenomenal research may happen. So mere certification may help in a little way. They can assist, or they can give a supportive therapy, or like a physiotherapy, like a supportive complementary action they can use. For therapeutic claim and all, better to be a physician can understand that.
Very nice, sir. That's a wonderful thing because Varma is really actually, picking up a lot. And so I want to ask from you about that. And towards the last, today we see a lot of, kind of mental health issues which are coming up. Just 3 days back, we saw a young, coming film star who hanged himself, and this Corona situation also. People are when we're in lockdown, for a long time, not able to go out because of a lot of crisis. So something which is very affected is their mental status, the balance which goes. And definitely, of course, such is where yoga, dhyanam, pranayamam, all these are very helpful. So is Siddha also having any kind of mental health component which is there?
Sure, sir. Definitely, because in Tamil, we have a phrase called Manamadu Semmayanal Mandirangal Jabika Vendam, Manamadu Semmayanal Vasiye Yetra Vendam, Manamadu Semmayanal Vasiye Nirutha Vendam. It is actually a little bit contrary on verse, but the understanding means mind is very, very important than the yoga practice and all things. Even in Ashtanga Yoga, what we are saying, the first part is Yama. Second part is Niyama. Then only it becomes Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dhyanam, Dhyana Samadhi. So the very first point is Yama. Yama, how we can achieve? Only through the internal happiness, then only we can come for the purity of thought. If your happiness is not good, then you can't have a thought of purity. So in Siddha science, we strongly believe mind has a major role for many diseases. If your mind is okay, nothing is needed like that. For that, we always we have some therapeutics also. In the therapeutics, in Tirumula, Tirumandram, Dr. Vetri and all nowadays, they are highly working on Tirumula Yoga itself. So, in the Tirumandram, in 3rd Tandrangal and 9th Tandram, all are completely with yoga and mind management only. And like that, Siddha traditional, all the books are giving more importance for the mental health. And mental health starts from the internal happiness. So unfortunately, current day, because we are all going for external happiness, and we don't know what is needed for your own mind and all. That's why whenever challenges comes, really we grow all the children and grow the people only for the success. We are not train them how to balance the challenge, how to face the challenge, or how to face the failure. That's why when failure comes, they equally success and failure both are same. You need not to enjoy much for success, or you want to worry much for failure. Both are same. Both are two sides of the coin in the life. We are all looking for the success, and we are not looking for the failure. That's why when failure comes, when challenges comes, we couldn't able to face it, or we can go able to modulate or anything, manipulate anything. That's why the mental health nowadays become. And another, the current science, current research clearly now tell all the non-communicable diseases, all the communicable diseases provoked with stress and strain. So from the childhood onwards, we have to reduce the stress. We have to train the people how to manage the strain by way of even certain food. On those days, the sattvic food and all the food practices, how to take, what is to be taken in the first, what is to be the last. All these based on the how to make our mind best. Why in Asara Kove, one Tamil book, they say, Talai Tittipu, Kadai Kaipu. Talai Tittipu means first you have to take the sweet. For example, if you take the sweet, your mind become bliss, and your endorphins will secrete in your brain. So the Talai Tittipu is not only for your absorption, salivary secretion and all. It is good for the mind also. And each and every part of the diet and lifestyle on those days, the mind happiness has been highly advocated. Siddha strongly believe mental health is one of the key for the person's general health. And there are a lot of medicines also. For example, like in Ayurveda, Ashwagandha and Manasamitra, in Siddha also, we have certain herbs like I can say what is called Sadamanjil. Sadamanjil is one of the main medicine for people who are in the depression and people are in the bipolar, like that Valuluva Erisi, that is Celestus paniculata, and there are specific bashmas, Muttu bashma, made with the Kadal Muttu pearl, and they make a bashma of the pearl and make it as a people for mental health. There are many medicine on those days exclusively. I can say for the depression, OCD, OPD, those diseases Siddha can very well manage. For people who are having bipolar, schizophrenia, we couldn't able to handle only with Siddha. They need some allopathic system, and slowly we can introduce our system and slowly taper the allopathic dose, and we can go.
Very nice. Nice to know that. And last, of course, we have been talking this in the context of the eve of the Yoga Day. So while you are mentioning, you said, there are similarities in yoga and Siddha, and even Tirumular's Tirumandiram, which is definitely, we consider it as an authentic yoga text with all the Ashtanga yoga, which is told. And even I think the legend goes that Patanjali and Tirumular were from the same guru, the same lineage, and it is therefore, in fact, Patanjali has only given it all in a very nutshell, the sutras. It is only like a formula which is there, whereas Tirumular has written so many verses to elaborate all those things. So how do you look at yoga in Siddha or Siddha in yoga together?
Very important. Yoga is actually a part of, I feel, if you are a Siddha physician, you should have a complete knowledge about yoga. How best you can utilize the yoga, how best you can teach yoga to the people, how best you can guide the patient and guide the common man to go in the yogic way. Because Siddha itself, mostly we have a preventive care. How best we can prevent the disease. In the preventive care, automatically the yoga sutras and pranayams all are inevitable in the preventive care. So each and every Siddha physician first should understand the yogi concept. Fortunately, we have a fantastic gurus in the last 100 years from the Swami Shivananda ji, from the Shivananda ji, all the right now there are many yogi gurus in India and abroad. All are mostly from the school of Sivananda Gurukul. So the Bigari school of yoga, Bigari Sayangar ji, and everybody, Swami Vivekananda, everywhere, they actually give the crux of the yoga to the common man. This is one of the fantastic ways, because on those days it's only for the people who are going for the spiritual way and Jnana Marga. So now our teachers had given the essence and juice and crux of the yoga to the common man. And I feel it is our responsibility to transform the essence to the common man. So we have to understand the breathing techniques. We have to understand the postures. There are earlier days when from the college, when I come to the college, I thought these are all the postures which reflects to the muscle, bone, and all other things. And now only I realize how best they understand bioenergetic flow through the breath. And pranayama also, we cannot simply say it is a breathing exercise. It's not breathing exercise. And beyond
the breathing, it is energy,
many things. So when we understand these things, our role and our ethics, we have to transform to our patients and to our people who are all, when we have the position and when we have the responsibility, we should understand. I feel in this June 21st, this World Yoga Day every year, because of our Prime Minister's the great initiation he had taken about yoga, our responsibility, we must transform the essence and importance of yoga to all our common people, so that everybody mentally they should be healthy and they are ready to face any challenges, even Corona and future some other thing may come. They can ready to fight against, and the discipline automatically comes, so that the selection of food will be good, and everything it will be transformed. So if you teach from the school days, if you start it from your younger generation itself, your thought process, your school days, your education, your love towards the other humans, love towards the other natural things in the world, everything will improve. And the real motto and real agenda of our yogis of peace in the world. will achieve through yoga. That's why I feel strongly you are all in the frontline warriors of that thing. So thanks a lot for giving me a nice opportunity to talk with a legend like you and your team and other things. It's really a great evening for me.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
That was
you.
a wonderful thing you brought in a nutshell. And when you said the balance, whether success or failure, the balance which we need to take, I think that is yoga. Krishna in the Gita says, Siddhya Siddhyo, Siddhi Asiddhi. So Siddhi is success, Siddhi Asiddhyo Samo Bhutva, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. So yoga, the definition of yoga is Samatvam. In fact, such a national institute like NIMHANS in Bangalore, the National Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience, have taken their motto as this Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. So yoga is that state of equilibrium, that balance. I think that is what it could be. Siddha, we spoke about the balance of the three doshas and all those things. That is what Ayurveda, that is what all our system. One is the basic phenomena of cleansing, both internal and external. And second is to get connected with the nature as such. Again, the internal nature with the external nature, the Anda and Pinda coming together. And the balance and equilibrium which we need to maintain is more important. And last, there is a question from one of the viewer who has asked, can we expect medicine for Corona from Siddha?
Sure. We are on the way, actually. There are some research is very seriously going on. We are thinking of whether the drug is improving the IL-6 and IL-10. Both are the cytokines, which is actually fight against the immunity. There are some in vitro research as well as clinical research is also going on. We are taking the blood sample before and after and in between. Is there any change in the viral load and cytokines? So the research is started already. We are working, definitely we are working towards that goal also. Not only for Corona, in general for any infectious dreadful viruses, how to improve our own immune system through Siddha herbs. So I am optimistic. Really, with the Siddha's grace and Almighty's grace, definitely we will achieve that.
Very nice. I really congratulate you for taking all these wonderful measures. We are very proud that you are one of the task force member, and you had an interaction directly with the Prime Minister, suggesting the wonderful mechanism which Siddha can give in this current scenario. So with that kind of a thing, a person like you, when you are pioneering this movement, I'm sure definitely we have a lot of hopes. We live with positive, though word positive has become again a dangerous word today, but the positivity of mind is still very much required. And I'm sure this yoga day, while we practice yoga and, dhyanam and everything, also there are wonderful techniques. Today we have learned that, for example, the kashayam, we can have it according to your dosha, whatever it is. And especially the current scenario, the Kabasura, Kudineer, kashayam, which is going to be helpful. Yes, have a cup of sip of that and also do the yoga. So the Siddha and yoga together can go. And thank you so much, Doctor. In spite of your busy time, I know, I don't know whether you sleep for some time or not. Anytime when I see, you are so busy with various things, and in spite of it, when I requested you out of your affection for me, that you took time and joined with me and shared a wonderful, amount of knowledge, rightly as you had started from the beginning to end. The session will go on. I have so many questions. I think we should join back for a Kaapi with a yogi for a second part with Dr. Shivaraman. The other aspect of you as a speaker, as a linguistic scholar, as a nature lover, too many to ask with your personal things. So we will get back another occasion, and probably on I'm sure like yoga day, we have a Siddha day, and also we will again get back to you on that. Thank you so much for being with us. Namaste, Doctor. And friends, we still have the 3 more days towards the countdown for the International Day of Yoga, and the last 3 days are going to be most fascinating as usual, as every day has been so fascinating for us with wonderful personalities. And tomorrow we are going to have Shri Subu from Kaivalya Dhamma, which is the pioneer, the first institutes in the country which was started by Swami Kuvalyananda with yoga tradition and research which was there. So Shri Subu, who is a representative of Kaivalya Dhamma lineage, is going to be with us. And after tomorrow on Saturday, we are going to have Shri Kaustubh Deshikachar, who is the grandson of Krishnamacharya. Krishnamacharya is the father of the modern yoga, as we all know. So his son is Shri Deshikachar sir, and Kaustubh Deshikachar sir is going to be with us on the 20th and 21st on the International Day of Yoga. the architect behind this modern scenario of International Day of Yoga, Shri Dr. H.R. Nagendra Guruji, who is a guru of all of us in the field of yoga. Guruji is going to be with us on 21st. So don't miss it. Tomorrow, Shri Shubodh Tiwari ji, and after tomorrow, Shri Kaustubh Deshikachar. And on Sunday, the Yoga Day, we are going to have Padma Shri Dr. H.R. Nagendra Guruji with us. Please keep watching. Please keep sharing to all. And if you have any questions, please do ask. There are a lot of questions for Dr. Shivaraman sir also. I will pass on to doctor, get his answers, and definitely pass on to all of you. Thank you all so much. Keep watching Kaapi with a Yogi. Dhanyavad.